Hello, bacho. Let's read the question. So the question says, read the passage given below. The UN's 2017 International Year tells that sustainable tourism is an important tool for development, most importantly in poor communities and countries. Today, sustainability, environmental, social, economic, is increasingly recognized as the benchmark for all tourism business. As noted by the UN World Tourism Organization, 57% of international tourist arrivals will be in emerging economies by 2030. The various tourism terms are defined as follows. Ecotourism, responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment socially and economically, sustains the well-being of local people, and creates knowledge and understanding through interpretation and education of all involved. Ethical tourism. Tourism is a destination where ethical issues are the key driver, for example, social injustice, human rights, animal welfare, or the environment. Geotourism. Tourism that sustains or enhances the geographical character of a place, its environment, heritage, aesthetics, culture, and well-being of the residents. Pro-poor tourism. Tourism that results in increased net benefit for the poor people in the destination. Responsible tourism. Tourism that maximizes the benefits to local communities, minimizes negative social or environmental impacts, and helps local people to conserve fragile cultures and habitats or species. Sustainable tourism. Tourism that leads to the management of all resources in such a way that economical, social, and aesthetic needs can be fulfilled while maintaining the cultural integrity, essential ecological processes, biological diversity, and life support systems. Based on the data collected by a survey by Travel Bureau, the following market profile of an ecotourist was constructed. Age 35 to 54-year-old, although age varied with activity and other factors such as cost. Gender 50% female and 50% male, although clear differences based on activities were found. Education. 82% were college graduates. A shift in interest in ecotourism from those who have high levels of education to those with less education was also found, indicating an expansion into mainstream markets. Household composition. No major differences were found between journal tourists and experienced ecotourists. Party composition. A majority, 60% of experienced ecotourism respondents stated they prefer to travel as a couple, with only 15% stating they prefer to travel with their families and 13% preferring to travel alone. Trip duration. The largest group of experienced ecotourists, 50%, preferred trips lasting 8 to 14 days. Expenditure. Experienced ecotourists were willing to spend more than journal tourists, the largest group, 26%. Important elements of trip. Experienced ecotourists' top 3 responses were wilderness sitting, wildlife viewing, hiking, trekking. Motivations for taking next trip. Experienced ecotourists' top 2 responses were enjoy scenery, new experiences, places. Now, on the basis of your understanding of the passage, answer the question given below. Choose the option that lists the correct answers for the following. Asha Matthew, an NRI, loves animals and wishes to travel to places that safeguard their rights and inculcate awareness of their rights. What kind of tourist is she? Statement 2. Gurdeep Singh from UK is an environmental scientist and has always chosen to travel to places that are examples of a symbiotic relationship between man and nature. What kind of tourist he is? So option A, 1 is an ecotourist, 2 is a geotourist. Option B, 1 is an ethical tourist, 2 is a geotourist. Option C, 1 is a sustainable tourist, 2 is a pro-poor tourist. Option D, 1 is geotourist and second is a responsible tourist. So आइए बच्चों, क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने से पहले हम लोग पैसेज को समझेंगे. पैसेज में ज्यादा कुछ समझाने को है नहीं. तो 2017 ऑफ द यूएन इंटरनेशनल ईयर ये बताता है कि कितना इंपॉर्टेंट सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म एक टूल है फॉर डेवलपमेंट, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली फॉर पुअर कम्युनिटीज एंड कंट्रीज. और ये भी बताता है कि 57% ऑफ द इंटरनेशनल टूरिस्ट जो भी आएंगे वो अब इमर्जिंग इकोनॉमीज में आएंगे बाय 2030. हमने कुछ डेफिनेशंस लिखी, इको टूरिज्म, एथिकल टूरिज्म, जियो टूरिज्म, प्रो पुअर टूरिज्म, रिस्पॉन्सिबल टूरिज्म, सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म के बारे में. हम एक सर्वे की बात कर रहे हैं जो ट्रैवल ब्यूरो ने कंडक्ट किया था टू स्टडी द मार्केट प्रोफाइल ऑफ एन इको टूरिस्ट, which was on the basis of age, education, household composition, party composition, trip duration, expenditure, important elements of trip and motivation for taking next trip. तो बच्चों अगर इसकी बात की जाए, सबसे पहले एनआरआई है who loves animals, ठीक है, तो who loves to travel places that safeguard their rights and inculcate awareness of their rights. What kind of tourist? So she is basically into ethical tourism. Asha Matthew is into, we'll write, Asha is into ethical tourism. Tourism. और अगर मैं बात करूं गुरदीप सिंह की, जो यूके से हैं, he is an environmental scientist and has always chosen to travel to places that are examples of a symbiotic relationship between man and nature. So he is a kind of a geotourist. He is a geotourist. So Gurdeep is a geotourist. So ये कौन सा ऑप्शन है जिसमें फर्स्ट एथिकल टूरिस्ट है और बी सेकंड जियो टूरिस्ट है? ऑप्शन ए हम रिजेक्ट करते हैं क्योंकि इको टूरिस्ट एंड जियो टूरिस्ट है, तो इको टूरिस्ट नहीं है आशा, आशा इज एन एथिकल टूरिस्ट। ऑप्शन बी, वन इज एन एथिकल टूरिस्ट एंड टू इज अ जियो टूरिस्ट। यस, दैट्स द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। एंड सी हम इसलिए रिजेक्ट करते हैं क्योंकि आशा इज अ एथिकल टूरिस्ट, नॉट अ सस्टेनेबल टूरिस्ट, एंड सेकंड गुरदीप इज ऑल्सो नॉट अ पुअर टूरिस्ट। ऑप्शन डी भी हम इसलिए रिजेक्ट करते हैं क्योंकि आशा इज एन एथिकल टूरिस्ट, नॉट अ जियो टूरिस्ट, एंड गुरदीप इज अ जियो टूरिस्ट, नॉट अ रिस्पॉन्सिबल टूरिस्ट। सो हम लोग क्या ऑप्शन देंगे? ऑप्शन बी, विच इज वन इज ethical tourist and two is geo two is geo tourist. Tourist. That's right. The correct option is option B. I hope you understood it well, that one is an ethical tourist and two is a geo tourist. Best of luck.